Okay, so welcome back to our tutorial series. This is tutorial number 8, and today we're going to talk about Object Orientated Programming in PHP. Now, what Object Orientated Programming allows us to do is it allows us to model real-life objects in PHP. So we can, for example, we can model things like a car or a person or a bicycle. There's many different things we can model using object-oriented programming, using the object's generic properties. So we start off, before we can create an object, we have to define a class of that object. So to define a class, we start with the keyword class, and then after the keyword class, we put the name of the class. So I'm going to create a person class, and in here, I'm going to use the keyword public. Don't worry about what the keyword public means just now. I'll explain that in due course, but for now, we'll just put the keyword public, and then we'll put we could actually we'll make this private just now. This might make it a little bit easier to explain. We'll make it private. We use the keyword private, and we'll create a variable called name. Every person has a name, so that's a generic property of a person, so we can put that in. We can say that every person has an age, so we can put that in. And we can say that every person has, and it's a live value, which we'll say equal to true, and we'll say that every person number of legs is 2. Private number of arms equals 2. So these variables, when they're in a class, are known as what's called properties of the class. So we'll come back to that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create what's called a constructor. A constructor is something that's present in every class, and it allows the class to be set up easily. So we'll do a function, keyword function, and then double underscore, and then construct. And this construct is going to take in 4 values. It's going to take in a name, it's going to take in an age for the person, it's going to take in let's see if we can create something else here. We'll make it we'll take in a words property, so we'll leave that blank just now. So we should make that location. Actually, location is probably a more accurate word for it. So we'll put in location here, and we'll do the opening and closing brace of this construct function, and we'll use the keyword this. And what this means is this instance of the class. This keeps the class dynamic and allows us to use the class over and over again, which is the whole point of object-oriented programming. It's about defining something, a block of code once, but being able to use it, hundreds of times over. It stops you repeating yourself, it stops you repeating code, and it keeps code dynamic and keeps code efficient. So we'll say this name equals name. So this instance of name equals the name that's passed into the construct. This this age equals age, and this location equals location. So that's the constructor built. And now what we can do is we can create a public function which allows us to get this information out. So in the public function we won't take in any parameters, but what we will do is we'll say return. What's happened there? We will say return hello, I am new and I am from location, and then I am age, and then years old, and the semicolon to execute it. So that's all we need for a public function. And then this should be here, and this should be here. That looks fine. And yeah, all looks good so far. Good. So let's save this as person PHP. It's going to be the name of our class. And let's just quickly check the time on this video. We might stretch into 2 videos. We're running a bit short on time. So the next thing we need to do is to create an instance of this class. So to do that, we will say we could say guy equals new person, and we could pass in the parameters that we need to pass. So we could pass in the name as John, we could pass in the age as my age, 33, and we could pass in the location as Edinburgh. So that creates what we call an instance of the class. A new keyword means instance of. So then what we could do is we could say echo, and we should have given this public function a name, and we'll call this greeting, and we'll say echo guy greeting. Let's see if we can quickly get this to run before the video runs out of time. Localhost /person PHP. If it runs, taking its time about it. Still taking its time about it. And we have got an error, undefined variable. Okay, I'll need to fix this in the next video, but I will fix this in the next video. Okay, thanks for watching.